Hello Libra and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your fortnightly reading for October the 16th through to the 31st. So moving out of your season, still 1 week left of that, and then moving into Scorpio. So yeah, for those beautiful Librans that are celebrating a birthday at this time, happy birthday. I hope you really have a special day and I hope you've been enjoying your season, Libra. So other things happening this month is obviously Halloween, but there's also a full moon in Aries, in the sign of Aries, which is your opposite sign, occurring around the 20th. So give or take a day, depending on what's going on for you. And this reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. So I always say if you know all three of your placements, recommend watching all three readings to get the fuller picture of what's going on for you. And this is a general reading, Libra. Just take what feels right, leave the rest. And if it does really resonate and you'd like to explore it further and go deeper, there will be an extended reading. So the link will be in the description box below. So no cards are jumped yet for you, Libra. So let's split the deck for you here. And I'll talk about the extended a little bit later. We have Sword 7, Venus, Aquarius. So your ruler, Venus, has come in here. Very interesting. The Sword 7 is an interesting energy. We have Sword Princess, Air Palace. So look at all this air coming in for you, which is nice. And the Hermit, Mercury, Virgo, Mercury coming in twice. So interesting. I feel like there may be the need to take some time out here, Libra, just away from everybody, to create your own little bubble, your own little space, because there's some new ideas. There's something that wants to develop. And I do feel like you kind of need to do this out of, off to the side, in your own little private space. So there's some sort of ideas or idea that you're working on that the messages are wanting to get through here. And so it does feel like there's clarity that's coming in with this, and it feels exciting. It feels like, there's definitely a message coming in. It's going to come in through your mind, like through your thoughts. And I do feel like it could be, it just feels exciting, but it feels like you need the space to be able to do this. There's something that is brewing and developing. And I feel like it's part of it is to do with some things you've been working on throughout your season. So this is kind of like what it's showing me is this is almost like a little gift that something is ready to rise and expand now. So this could be a highly creative process. I just feel like there needs to be stillness for this idea to come through. So there's some kind of interesting expansion and growth that's coming through here. So we'll pull some more cards around that. We have the King of Cups, beautiful. The King of Wands. Okay, so I just do feel like before you're ready to take action on something, it's important to do this. The Fool. So stepping into something new or a very new creative process. For some of you, this is to do with, I feel like a lot of it's to do with some form of communication. So whether it is writing, speaking, however that appears to you, it does feel like you're finding your voice with something here. So and it does feel new. And look, we have the Four of Swords again. This is a similar energy of going within and really, understanding those stories. A lot to do with stories and storytelling. Five of Swords in the recent past. There may be trying to understand. And we have the Hermit again coming in twice. So this internal energy just seems so important. And there's some inner knowledge that's wanting to come up and out. This is necessary. When you have the Sword 7 coming in, it's a necessary action to kind of it might feel like you're kind of half in and out of the world just for the moment, because it's like, you can be over here talking to somebody else, but there's something going on in the back of your mind that something's brewing here. Now, it feels really, like I said, it feels really good and exciting. So we have the Hierophant. Again, very strong messages coming to you. The Seven of Swords. Again, my goodness, what a double up and synchronistic reading. This is one of those readings that they're just really wanting you to focus in on one thing in particular. They really want you to get this message really, 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 really want you to be going within to get this message. Now, the Seven of Swords can be that you're kind of like there's a sense of being half in, half out. And you could be thinking of formulating a plan here, which can bring you this freedom that you're looking for with the Fool card. The King of Pentacles, so you do want money and success associated with this, or some kind of provision to be. And look, I love this. Look what comes out. You, the Queen of Swords, and the Sword Princess turns out and ups, and this idea emerges and matures and turns into this, the Queen. Now, it's not, when I'm talking about this, I'm just saying this because that's the name of the cards. It's not gender specific, but this is you coming back to yourself, the Queen of Swords. I love it. That is the card of Libra in the deck. And we have the Eight of Swords. So it's interesting because it may be that this idea hasn't come to you yet, this kind of thing that you're developing. And it could be ideas around yourself, but I just feel like, this with the Eight of Swords, there's something like the only thing blocking you from seeing this is perhaps yourself or some kind of restriction around you. But that's why they're kind of giving you very specific instructions. Go deep within. The Hermit goes deep, finds those answers deep within. So we have a few safety procedures before we enter into this journey. And this is the King of Cups and the King of Wands, crossed by the King of Wands. And it's saying this is not the time for doing. This is the time for retreating and going inwards, as we've kind of said. The King of Cups is an energy that finds a safe place. You know, there may be a lot of emotions going on. There may be other dramas going on. This is, finding your space where you don't have to be affected by any of that. It really is being master of your emotion, not the other way around. And you're crossed by the King of Wands in that it either is not going to feel right to take action right now, or something is blocking you where you can't take action. And the King of Wands is the visionary energy. There's a vision or something, quite an amazing message coming, like I said. And so that's being blocked by this energy of the King of Cups. I mean, the King of Wands is blocking this. So it feels like it's kind of hard to get to this vision or see the bigger picture or feel like this is something that belongs to you and you own. It's kind of hard to explain this because it is quite conceptual, I would say, because it's something that's happening kind of more deep inside of you. So, in your conscious mind, I'll just see if the King of Cups is saying anything else. It's just saying find a place of emotional stability, or you're trying to find that emotional stability. But maybe this is this idea has got something to do with that. The King of Cups is a Scorpio energy as well. So this could be related to someone around you that is usually quite an authority. It's someone that could be that either a Scorpio or it's someone who has those qualities. And this is someone that's very sharp. They're very not sharp as in like too sharp, but sharp as in they get things. They see beneath the surface. They see what's going on. They'll know what's going on with you. But it's seeing below the surface into what's happening deeper down. So, and that's where you're being brought. So in your conscious mind, you have the Fool card, and this is really pressing the reset button. It's stepping into something new and wanting to develop this new idea that's coming through here. So the Fool card is wanting a little bit more freedom, maybe wanting to go traveling, a bit of adventure, but it really is new people, new places, new things, new opportunities. And so I feel like in your conscious mind, you're ready to kind of press the reset button on something and really step into this. But deep down, I feel like there's still things that need to be healed and resolved and understood on a very deep level with this Four of Swords energy. So this is the energy of, you can see these three swords are being put up against the wall. Any kind of triggering wound or hurt is kind of laid to rest for the moment. And it's a sense of contemplation, meditation, and understanding what these stories are that's being told to you. This could represent a huge mindset shift. There's something shifting inside of you because it's like you're going into this shell to emerge into the Queen of Swords, to emerge as yourself again, but even stronger and more powerful. So that's kind of this energy. The Four of Swords might be for some of you that you just need to have a rest, a good old rest, or a period of recovery. But mostly it's like going deep within here. And in the recent past, we have the Five of Swords. So there's some kind of conflict here, usually around some kind of communication breakdown or conflict. It could be related to this Hermit energy, which could be to do with isolation or feeling restricted as well for some of you. But the Five of Swords, it feels like perhaps this is an energy of somebody's acting in their own self-interest. And what I kind of get with this, mostly for you, Libra, is that there's some communications or some everyday communication or thought patterns that are going on that you're looking at and going, is that really serving me? Is that really helping, or is that really worthwhile? So there might be a little bit of a fallout and perhaps some distance between you and another person as well, coming in here with this Five of Swords energy in the Hermit. But I feel mostly, that energy, you're leaving that energy behind. That's why I feel like you're kind of walking away, but you're kind of half in, half out. It's like you're walking away from a conflict. This could be an internal conflict as well. So, yeah, and this could be to do with some of these, some line of communication is like the key to this reading. It's all about communication, both externally and internally. So that's getting like a huge makeover. So if there's any kind of communication around that you're having with people that is not working, I feel like you're detaching from that and developing something new, which is fantastic. So we have in the near future the Hermit, and this is where it's a real Virgo energy, the Hermit, and it's going deep within to find those answers that you've been looking for. You're getting those messages coming through here. And the Hermit energy might mean that you are wanting to, again, it's this sense of wanting to distance yourself from an energy. The Sword 7 can be someone that you're just not entirely sure about, maybe not sure of their motivations, maybe you're not sure if you can trust them. And so I feel like, maybe there's a part of yourself you're not sure if you can trust. Maybe you're not sure if you can really bring this to fruition, what this idea is that's coming up here. So it's gaining a lot of knowledge, and the Hermit energy is ultimately a teacher energy. It wants to, the knowledge that is here is wanting to be brought forth into the world to be of service to the world. So there's something being developed inside of you that this idea could be something that could be, it's obviously going to be something that's going to mature and be something much bigger. But yeah, I feel like you've been called upon to be of service to the world. So yeah, interesting. You're presenting as the Hierophant, and this is a real soul energy. It's a real Taurian energy. It's actually very grounded, which is good because you've got a lot of air here. And it's actually interesting, you got the King of Pentacles, which is a Taurian energy as well. The Hierophant represents tradition, institution. So it and it can represent religion as well. And there's a higher law that's coming in here. I feel like you're reworking something to do with all of that. And you just need to kind of maybe put on pause, like those kind of spiritual messages, or even your intuition, just for the moment while you go in and see what's going on inside of your mind here, because like I said, there's something brewing. So the Hierophant energy is it's like this in the King of Cups. I've got a solid base so that I can go deep and I can feel safe. So that feels really nice. And this can be going deep with somebody else as well. You know, this can be really going into somebody's inner sanctum, someone's inner shell, and somebody's showing you and sharing that with you, which is really nice. Quite a privilege to go into the world of the hermit and to understand the knowledge and the wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom here. So energy surrounding you, you've got the Seven of Swords. So this is, again, the energy of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe formulating an exit plan for some of you on something. But it does feel like, you know, it's kind of interesting because the Hierophant is almost like, you know, the Seven of Swords is wanting to get away from these little tents here they can represent a military camp or something that has too many rules and restrictions imposed upon it. The Hierophant represents the higher law of that, traditions, rules, restrictions, you know, that we obey the law of the higher spirit, the law of God, and all that sort of stuff. And so there's a part of you that is wanting your freedom, that wanting to non-conform even. It doesn't mean you're rejecting this, but it just feels like you need to kind of go and work out what something is for yourself. And so there is a sense that you're just quietly working on this in the background, not necessarily shouting it out to the world, but you're just quietly working out what this freedom looks like to you in your world. I think that seems to be really, really important. And so, you know, hopes and fears, we have the King of Pentacles. And this is interesting because this is worldly success. This is money. This is perhaps a provider, successful business. Maybe these are all the things that you're thinking about here with this, developing these ideas. And it's also marrying like those things with the higher spiritual law in your world. So it's like you kind of need to not, but for the moment, it's making sense of how those two could meet and come together and work together. So yeah, it's kind of fascinating what's happening here, Libra. And the Queen of Swords, I do feel like this is something that's been really worked on in your season. And it feels like there's a real gift here. And this is it, coming back to who you are, the Queen of Swords. Again, clarity, the path is open. You've gone down into the depths and you've come out even stronger. You've found those answers and now your head is clear, out of confusion, out of any fear. You know the right direction now. And so there's this beautiful clarity open here with the Queen of Swords, and it's going, I know who I am, I know what I need to do, and I know how to develop this. So this is where the idea and the clarity becomes bigger. And it becomes something that what I'm being shown is that you can actually see the fuller picture of what this is and the big vision, the big picture now. So, yeah, it's fantastic, this Queen of Swords. And I love the fact it's you because it's like a transformed, they're saying not transformed because you always were there. You're reclaiming parts of yourself and gaining strength. So, and just kind of like, it's still not loud, but there's, you know, some people have got a presence and authority about them and they don't have to say much. They just walk into the room and they don't have to yell. They could just say a few words and everyone kind of pays attention and listens. So it's like this. There's a message that you've got now and it's been worked into a state where it's matured into this there's a mastery associated with this. It's become this very authentic knowledge that when it will be executed kind of perfectly when it's released. And it has that effect. People will sit up and listen to it. So, yeah, really interesting. Interesting reading. Very different to your normal readings, Libra. So, and I think you have been getting messages that there's surprises and there's things coming for you. So I feel like you've kind of been given some more, this is more like this is how you're going to find it. And it's deep within you. So that's the good news. And, you know, as overall energy, you've got the Eight of Swords. So this is lifting up that blindfold. This is one of the few cards that of self-imposed limitations. Where are you getting in your own way and not being able to see things? Where have you placed limitations on yourself? And now you're kind of pulling them off. I mean, this is the thing. These binds are so loose. This character could have come out of this all along. But there's something about, I always get with this card, it's always, yeah, it could have, maybe you could have like developed this earlier or got yourself into this state earlier, but now is the right time. It's happened now for a reason. So it's also acknowledging that the only thing that was stopping you was this lack of vision, whether this is you or someone else or some kind of restriction around you. I mean, these cards as well, like the Hermit card and the Eight of Swords, they're sometimes cards that come out when we're seeing people in lockdowns or stay-at-home orders that we've seen throughout COVID. Now, I know some people are in that, some people aren't, but it's kind of got that energy of being removed or being in a different space. So that's kind of, but it feels nice. It feels good. So let's pull an affirmation card for you, Libra. So I just think, yeah, if you've been super, super busy, find the time to find this stillness, because it says here, I am at peace. If I turn it up the right way, I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. Beautiful. So this place deep down it's one of those, when you connect to your center, it does feel like this all-knowing, expansive, peaceful place. And I feel like that's where you're connecting into. And yeah. And that will be different to all of you, how you do that. This could just be you sitting by yourself for a little while, going for a walk or taking a bath. It could be you doing meditation. This could come to you in yoga. It's just when you create that space for it to come in. And we have, the little pussycat. Cute. And this is kind of where, you know, cats are very independent. You know, they like their space. They make their own rules. They do what they want. And there is this energy of, yeah, doing that. They like to come out at night as well. Some of them are night hunters, night creatures. And I just feel like that at this moment in time, you need your space around you and your independence. So, and a lot of it, like, it's connecting me with this Virgo energy of setting up your own laws and rules that you want to be living by, not these other ones that are feeling quite restrictive. Can be to do with society's expectations of who you are, or just those unwritten rules of how you should be. So, and it could be to do with family or groups of friends. It could be workplace. It could be anything, partner. It could even just be, you know, your own self, like rules that you've placed upon yourself. So I feel like this is where you're reworking and making your own rules. So, yeah. And with that, yeah, that Aquarius energy, like it's really coming in and supportive. There's a lot of supportive energy around. So there might be some like-minded people coming in as well. And there might be some wise people, some people who are like got a teacher energy around. Doesn't mean they're actually teachers, but they might have something to pass, some sort of knowledge to pass on to you in some ways. So I would say watch out for those people, because there's something that they really can offer you at this time. And yeah, look at other people's boundaries. If you're thinking, they've kind of got a nice boundary set up somehow, like just observing, there's this sense of being quite mindful and observing this as well. So That's it, Libra. Going to take it over to the extended reading now. We're going to have a look at what's coming in the near future with the Hermit. What kind of messages and energy is the Hermit bringing in? And what's coming in the future beyond the outcome with the Queen of Swords? What's happening with this sense of coming back to yourself and being stronger? What's happening? Where is this going? So that's all going to be in the extended reading. We're going to look at any other intuitive messages that you need to hear, and we're going to focus in on career, money, love, and relationships. So, and really focusing on those 3 areas. So that's all in the extended reading. Love it if you come over, Libra. The link is in the description box below. Usually pin it to the comments as well. But if this is where we're leaving each other, I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday season. And please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment if you would like to support this channel, because that lets YouTube know that you're appreciating the content that's been made here. Thanks so much, Libra. I'll see you next time.